Good afternoon, I'm Chief Meteorologist Sabrina. We told you the temperatures were going to fall. Here's the proof. In 24 hours, we're 11 degrees cooler out toward Otay, 12 degrees cooler in Kearney Mesa, and they will continue to tumble. Coming up, we'll talk about how chilly Wednesday will be. We'll be right back. Tomorrow, as temperatures, they continue to fall. We'll even put a chance of precipitation in your forecast as shower activity for us early tomorrow morning. Right now, also a live look for you into La Mesa. Temps there only into the upper 60s, 67 degrees. Clouds are really hugging the coastline, starting to see more sunshine the further inland you go. Nonetheless, though, I do think we're overall in store for more clouds and sunshine, at least for about the next day. As we continue to watch this deep trough, that's the jet stream, that little dip in it, move our direction. And with that, it is increasing the onshore flow, continuing to pull in the cooler air off of the Pacific, where water temperatures are only into the upper 60s. Thus, the land right along the beaches are only on into the upper 60s. And I do think we'll see a little bit of energy come on down that jet stream early tomorrow morning, and that's what could lead to a little bit of precipitation. So let's take you hour by hour with you at about 6 o'clock tonight for your evening commute on home, or maybe you're waiting for a loved one to get home. Only into the upper 60s for the coast. Still not quite cool enough, though, for your heater, but nonetheless staying fairly mild. Inland areas, lakeside at about 70, the same number for you rolling through El Cajon. Now, tomorrow morning, a 10% chance of rain. So it's not a lot, but it is, in fact, there with those overcast skies spreading through much of the county. Waking up in Julian at about 46 degrees, Chula Vista only 59, and Encinitas at about 61. When we fast forward into the afternoon, values are going to drop, I'd say about 1 to 2 degrees compared to where they were today. Only 67 into Encinitas, Chula Vista 72 right around your lunch hour. Thursday, though, we start to see temperatures climb to take us closer to seasonal. Not a big warm-up anyway, but nonetheless, temps are going to get closer to the 80s for some of those inland locales. Coming up, we'll talk more about the chance of rain, and if it comes, about it all the time. How you just want it to be cloudy, you want it to be a little cooler. This is the forecast for you, my friend. We also have a little bit of rain to introduce. Notice by around 10 o'clock tonight, those clouds really increasing, starting to cover portions of the coast. And check out that green coming in here on the screen over the evening hours into early tomorrow. So close to about 5:30, 6 o'clock. Now noticing some rainfall working its way from Carlsbad through Del Mar, even out over toward Bird Rock and La Jolla. Once we get to 7 a.m., the rain starts to push a little bit further out into the open waters. Still the chance, though, we could see a few spots of drizzle happen out over toward inland areas, and then maybe some breaks of sunshine once we get closer to noon. So breaking it down for you, noticing at around 5 o'clock tonight, staying with overcast skies, that isolated shower at 5 a.m. and 64 degrees. By 11 o'clock, you're only looking at the 70s, which makes us a little bit cooler than where we were today. Inland areas starting out at 58 degrees with possibility of drizzle by 11 a.m., seeing some breaks of sunshine, and 73. Coming up, we'll take a look at your 7-day forecast. Guys? 24 hours, we've seen them drop in Ramona at about 14 degrees. Poway, you are also 14 degrees cooler, and even in Chula Vista, your values have dropped 11 degrees, and they will continue to tumble into tomorrow. That'll be the coolest day of the week. Right now, they put their values at about 69 into downtown, 66 Del Mar, the 70s, though, found into La Mesa, and 75 out over toward Alpine. When you take a broad look what's happening across the country, a lot of clouds coming down throughout the northern half of the plains, and still dealing with a little precipitation happening out over toward, it looks like, the Great Lakes. But cold air, not only our story, but for a good chunk of the entire U.S., they're dealing with the chilly air mass moving on through, primarily happening right along the west coast. You can see a lot of the areas shaded in that dark blue. That is where they have freeze warnings up, including portions of Washington and Idaho, as well as even into Oregon. Frost advisories in the lighter blue happening all the way through tomorrow morning. And then out over toward the plains, where we saw a lot of that cloud coverage right now, where there's freeze warnings up for a good chunk of, it looks like, Nebraska, even into Iowa. Temperatures there are falling into the 30s, so we don't get that cold. We just get slightly below normal. If you are still brave enough to head into the waters, probably need that wetsuit. 67 to 69 degrees, fair conditions for you with your high tide coming in just before 7:30 in the morning. 7-day forecast, 71 degrees tomorrow. We'll get a little bit of a heat wave, a little bit, by Friday, taking us closer to Tuesday, the deserts into the lower 90s. That's a look at your 7-day forecast. Guys, over to you.